Anyway, while you were messing with your camera, I was reading this article about the France passes a law banning under 15s from social media. This happened 2 days ago. So we've been talking about this a few times, but it's really coming into effect. And this is kind of a two-parter from France, where they say from September, people under 15 will not be able to open accounts, and age verification will be required on all new accounts. And then starting January 2027, this rule will apply to all existing accounts, meaning that everybody in France will have to prove they are over 15 to use social media. And this kind of ties into something we were talking about, Drew, about the App Store Connect has got these new social media questions when you submit an update for one of your apps. Actually, I think it's actually starting in September. You'll have to check these boxes.
Right. It says, let's see, required with new submissions, app updates, and Mac notarizations beginning in September. Review new social media questions on age ratings. See if these new questions about social media capabilities apply to your app in the app information section. Yeah, go. What do you know about that so far? Have you looked into it much?
Well, I mean, the easy answer is if your app is not a social network, and then obviously no, or it has no social media features. Which, what does that mean? It's Apple defines it, redistribution, amplification, so reposting, retweets, whatever you want to call it, or interaction with user-generated content through a social feed or a similar discovery method.
And that is one of the two checkboxes you're going to have to choose yes or no.
Right.
Your app has this. This one says social media, and then exactly what Dan said. And then the second one says social media disabled for users under 13. Again, you have to say yes or no. And it says users under 13 don't have access to social media capabilities. At a minimum, the declared age range API is called to check users' age ranges before enabling social media features. Only age-appropriate UGC is delivered.
User-generated content is what that is.
User-generated content. Okay.
If there is a question, I think if you did have a question about whether or not you were in this range or under this category, using the declared age range API is pretty straightforward. It does add a step, but if you have some kind of a feature in your app that has any kind of a social thing, if you implemented that, I think, especially as an indie developer with not a lot of resources, you're covering your tracks as best as possible, or covering your bases, I should say.
Yeah, covering your tracks.
You're not covering your tracks. Don't be covering tracks.
So I know we talked about the declared age range API before. I do have a quick question about it, though, because I haven't used it. When you make this call, so this is checking with whatever the user has set on the device they've declared their age. It's not proven, nobody checked an ID or anything, but the user has said, yes, I declare I am, I don't know, do they declare an age, and it's an age range, they say, like as the user? What do you say?
Well, as a user, it's what you're putting into your iCloud account for your birthday. It's just you attest that you are this age. And so if you're setting up a device for your child, you could attest that your child is not a child. If you want to do that, then that's that's your prerogative. But if you attest that they are their actual age and they are under 13, then this declared age range API is going to flag them as being a child.
Okay, so I put my birth date in, my real birth date, and so then I attest, I am 32 years old. And then now your app,
Sure.
What does it get back? Does it say, hey, I need to know if this guy is at least 18, yes or no? Or is it like, how old did he say he was? And it tells you 38 or 32, whatever I said?
It says is an adult. And I believe, now don't quote me on this, I believe that means is over 18 or is 18 or over for basically anywhere. But I'm not sure. But
I'm assuming there's probably some jurisdictional differences there.
I think it depends on the country, what is considered an adult in your region. So that's all you get. You do not get their birthday. You don't get their age. You don't get anything.
So you basically get is an adult in their jurisdiction, yes or no. What about if, because here they were just saying social media disabled for users under 13, which means you could have it enabled for users that are 13?
There's different levels of this where you could say, deliver different content depending on the age range provided, right? If under 13 or is not adult, then you have these features. If over 13, you have these features, right? Or is an adult, I should say.
So the API then, can you say like is an adult or is a teenager or is a young child? Is that basically the three categories? I mean, I don't.
Let's see if I can grab that real quick. There are age gates. Yes, there are age gate thresholds that you can do. On the documentation of Apple's, for this API, they show a demonstration where you can request an age range with age gates, and their specific example shows 13, 16, and 18. For my personal app, I just did 18 and over because it is a...
But you don't get to choose these thresholds, right? You just get to pick which ones you want to know about?
It looks like you get to choose the threshold.
So I could say like 18, 21, 27, 49?
Perhaps. Which seems a bit odd, but I don't fully know, because I didn't do that. I didn't do gates. I just did is an adult. Anyway.
And so this France, you said France bans social media now for anyone under 15. So presumably there would be a way to check against 15, the number 15
right.
or something. Okay.
Yeah, so you could put an age gate of 15, and then if they are below that, then you could exit out or have different features or disable some features. But it is a pretty straightforward API to implement, despite my rambling about it. So if you do have to cross that bridge, then I would reach for that API. It is very good. But
okay. All right. Oh, by the way, good morning, everyone. This is Drew and Dan in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Drew.
How are you, Dan?